This is a cautionary tale about the integration of AI in the workplace and the risks of relying solely on AI without understanding its limitations.
Have you ever seen the Disney movie Fantasia? Well, the article we're discussing starts off by referencing a scene from that movie, where Mickey Mouse serves as an apprentice to a powerful sorcerer.
That's right. Mickey is fascinated by the sorcerer's magical powers and wishes he could do magic too. So, when the sorcerer goes to bed, Mickey steals his magic hat and enchants a broom to do his work for him. But things quickly go wrong when Mickey realizes he doesn't know how to control the broom and it floods the workshop.
And this tale is compared to how generative AI has entered the modern workplace. Generative AI, like ChatGPT, can seem like magic. You ask a question and it gives you an instantaneous answer that seems almost too accurate. It can even summarize complex texts in seconds.
Absolutely, but it's important to remember that generative AI is just a tool, not magic. In the case of ChatGPT, it's a large language model machine learning chatbot. It uses statistical models to predict the next word based on the prompt it receives. However, it's not always accurate, and there's a term for when it gives false information: hallucinating.
Right? Hallucinations occur when the AI generates information that is not true or accurate. It can be difficult to distinguish what is true and what is false without expert knowledge in the subject.
And this is where the danger lies. Many people view AI as magic and rely on it without taking its limitations into account. The article mentions a lawyer who used ChatGPT to prepare a court filing and included incorrect information. He claimed he was unaware that the content generated by ChatGPT could be false.
It's a prime example of the consequences of unintended hallucinations. The lawyer may now face sanctions for including false information in the court filing. And it's not just about legal cases. The article also mentions an AI chatbot hosted on the National Eating Disorders Association, NEDA website. Initially designed to help people with eating disorders, it started giving out dieting advice, which can be harmful.
Yes, and what makes this situation even worse is that the NEDA had laid off staff and volunteers who used to run a hotline service for eating disorder support. So when the chatbot started giving out harmful advice, thousands of people were left without a vital resource for their health and well-being.
It goes to show that relying solely on AI without proper oversight and understanding of its limitations can have serious consequences. That's why it's important for organizations and individuals to approach AI integration with caution and best practices in mind.
Absolutely. Let's go back to the comparison made between generative AI and magic. It's easy to be astounded by advanced technology, but we need to remember that it's not magic. It's a tool that operates on probability, not certainty.
That's right. AI can be incredibly powerful and efficient, but it's not infallible. It's important to have expert knowledge and human oversight when utilizing AI tools in the workplace.
Well said. And with that, we'll be moving on to the next section of our discussion: best practices for managing the risks of integrating AI at work.
Organizational leaders are faced with the challenge of integrating AI into their daily workflows without being inundated with false information and bad decisions. So, how can they do this? Well, they need to act like the sorcerer and train their apprentices.
Just like Mickey wanted to have the same skills as the sorcerer, we need to observe and learn from experts as we integrate AI into our work. This way, we can gain experience in a supervised and safe environment. And there are 3 things organizations can do to encourage responsible AI usage.
The first is to build digital literacy. Paul Leonardi and Settle Mealy recommend the 30% rule, which states that you only need 30% fluency in a handful of technical topics to thrive in the digital work world. You don't need to know everything about AI, but you should have a basic understanding of how it works and its limitations.
That's right. Without this knowledge, you might end up like the lawyer who was unaware that AI content could be false. So, it's important to invest time in building your digital literacy.
The second best practice is to always have an expert in the loop. Just like the law firm Allen & Overy, who used generative AI for their lawyers, organizations should have someone who double-checks the work produced by the AI model for tasks that require a high level of accuracy.
Absolutely. Having an expert reviewing the work ensures that any potential errors or inaccuracies are caught before the final output is delivered. It's an important step in maintaining quality and reliability.
And lastly, organizations should embrace boring productivity gains. Instead of automating the entire process like Mickey envisioned, it's more realistic to use AI as a tool to create first drafts or save an hour or 2 of work per week.
That's a great point. By embracing these small productivity gains, organizations can make a big impact when multiplied across all employees. It's about finding practical and achievable goals rather than aiming for huge, unrealistic transformations.
Absolutely. Now, let's move on to discussing Peter Drucker's sage advice on the importance of more accurate information.
In his book, Drucker predicted that the focus of the new information revolution would shift from technology itself to the meaning and purpose of information. It's not just about generating a lot of information quickly, but using technology to produce accurate information that is right for the specific problem at hand.
Exactly. AI tools can certainly help us perform tasks quickly, but we need to be cautious about the desire for speed and efficiency. We must approach generative AI as a tool and have a basic understanding of its capabilities and limits.
Otherwise, we risk being flooded with AI-induced hallucinations, inaccurate information, and unnecessary risk. It's important to be responsible and integrate AI into our workflows cautiously.
Absolutely. It's clear that organizations can't ignore AI, but they need to approach it responsibly and with a focus on building digital literacy, having experts in the loop, and embracing small productivity gains. Do us a favor and please hit subscribe, and maybe even tell a friend. Now let's keep the discussion going, taking a look at